Hey, Trap. So I was messing around with Diddy Kong today, just to kind of play around with him, see how I could help you in improving with this character, and I found some quite interesting things. So I know that you do tend to struggle with ZDrop aerials, and I want to see how I can maybe help make them more consistent or find ways to kind of improve them. And I found something very interesting actually. So, Diddy Kong actually is one of the harder characters to get Z-drop aerials on for a very interesting reason. So as you can see here, I'm getting them very consistently, but that's because I'm doing the Z-drop at the peak of the jump. So as long as you're doing them like rising or at the peak, they're actually quite easy. But look what happens when I just start falling and then do a Z-drop aerial. So I'm gonna do a jump, and then when I'm falling, I'm gonna do Z-drop and then an aerial. So look at this. See? Even like the moment I start falling, it becomes really tricky. And this happens with Z-drop back here. With or without the fast fall, by the way. So with the fast fall, without the fast fall, happens with forward air, and it also happens with down air. I'm pretty sure it'll happen with up air as well. Yep. Nothing's an exception to this. But look what happens when I jump backwards and I fall and do a Z-drop. See that? Even with a fast fall, I am still able to catch it. Back here, forward air, down, hold on. Down air. Right? So this is interesting because why is this happening? Well, you can see here, the reason why is because of how Diddy holds his banana when he's jumping in neutral and forward positions, right? So as you can see here, look at Diddy's banana placement, right? He's holding it straight up, so that means when you Z-drop, and in this game, the Z-drop just happens where the item was. The Z-drop happens right here, which is far out of the grab box of any of his aerials. But when he does a back jump, as you can see here, I'll just fast forward to show you when he's falling. The banana is far closer to him, so when he does the Z-drop, it drops it right in the middle of his body. So then he can do a nair, and he'll be able to... I accidentally did the nair too late there. He'll be able to pick it up. So what does this mean? This means that it's actually... Don't be too hard on yourself if you're jumping like this and you're not able to get a Z-drop aerial, because it's actually harder. So what you need to do is when you're facing forward, you need to do the Z-drop at the peak of the jump. Or rising, of course. But you can't do it landing. So every time you're going to try to do it landing, it's always going to fail. So you have to either do it rising, like that, if I can get it, like that, or you're going to have to do it at the peak of the jump, but if you try landing with it, it's just not going to work, right? Unless you do it backwards, right? So if you're jumping backwards like this, feel free to do that, right? If you are, let's say, if you are trying to get a back air, what you can do is you jump, Z-drop at the peak, and then do a back air. And this way you can do it both backwards and forwards, and you'll get it at just around the same timing. This probably works for forward air as well. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, with Diddy, if you want to do a Z-drop aerial when you're jumping in straight up or forwards, you want to do it at the peak of your jump, so like that, or while rising. But when you're facing backwards, you can do it at any time. So I hope this helps. This was a very interesting thing to find, and yeah, good luck.